They teach us that we're alone at the top of the evolutionary chain, that every other branch is gone. The Neanderthal, Homo habilis, Homo erectus died off, extinct, case closed. But what if that's not the whole story? What if one branch survived, not in the open, but in the forest, not mastering tools, but mastering silence, not wearing clothes, but growing fur, and not conquering nature, but merging with it? The legends are timeless. Long before Darwin, long before the DNA, tribes across North America told stories of bipedal beings from the forest, covered in hair, towering but elusive. They called them the hairy man, the shadow guardian, and Bigfoot. He's not just folklore, he's the missing link that we don't talk about. The one that didn't trade instinct for the smartphone, and every time someone gets too close to the truth, the trail goes cold, the files disappear, and the ridicule begins. Because somewhere deep in the archives, there's footprints that can't be explained, there's hair samples with no match, and there's bones that never made it to the museum. And if Bigfoot does exist, he challenges science, and he challenges the story that we're told about ourselves. Tonight, we follow that evidence into the wild, into the past, and into the unknown. Welcome to the Secret Society of Strangers podcast.
Welcome, stranger.
Secret Society.
Strangers. Society.
Welcome to the Secret Society.
Strangers?
I'm Lee. Here as always, Josh and Jen, ready to take on Bigfoot.
What it do?
What is flapping strangers? It's exciting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Bigfoot is a big topic, I feel like, in our world, considering it's one of the most commonly known cryptids and like a
Mhm.
household name these days. But like I said in the
Mhm.
opening, goes way back, like before we even started recording history, before all that stuff. So tonight we're definitely gonna explore some of that stuff, but I want to talk about Bigfoot in like the 20th century and specifically in North America because somehow he's worldwide. He crosses continents, timelines. He is seen by people that have never even come in contact with each other that share similar stories. So he's a lot of fun.
Unless you see
Yeah, when you
him
were doing
in
the cold
person.
open, I thought you were describing Predator.
Well, there's a lot of different varying accounts. He could be nice, but yeah, Predator is elusive. He is towering.
Mhm.
I don't know how much he traded nature for technology though, because he has that
I
little.
don't know, man. I feel like it's a solid balance.
Everything blows up.
I mean, he's like he kills it in the jungle.
He does. Well, when you can bend light, it's effective. Maybe that's what Bigfoot does.
Maybe I was gonna say maybe Bigfoot does. Maybe Bigfoot is just a hairy predator.
Maybe.
Ooh, I'd watch that movie, Bigfoot versus Predator.
That is up there with like Sharknado type
Yes.
shit, like Anaconda
See?
versus like the
Yes.
Killer Croc shit. That would be a good movie.
I love those.
But I would actually watch all 6 of the Bigfoot versus Predator movies.
All 6 Bigfoot versus Predator. Bigfoot out of the wilderness.
Bigfoot in space.
Oh,
Oh man, that'd be fucking great.
it would actually.
Bigfoot versus
We should
Predator
copyright that
Requiem.
one. We should make that movie. All right, guys. So now, before there were plaster casts, before we had like video recordings, Bigfoot was out there. He is known across indigenous cultures throughout North America and, like I said, the world. Stories were passed down through oral traditions. There are some writings of creatures like Bigfoot in the Pacific Northwest. There is a creature called the Sasquatch. It's a little variation of how we say Sasquatch. It is one of the natives wild man of the woods. There
Hmm.
are other tribes that have other names for him. They're the Lakota. They call him the Chitaka. That entity is more of a watcher and a like protector type thing, and he kind of exists on the outside of human civilization without really ever crossing that border. The Hopis had I'm gonna butcher this name, the Kachina, which is like a spirit being, which strictly similar to the Sasquatch. It's a messenger, it's a protector, and it would only be seen when the person was ready to see it. Now, moving forward in time, we have like the Ohio grassman, we have the Florida skunk ape, we have the Missouri Momo, the Fuke monster in Arkansas. Like every region, Bigfoot's big by me. Bigfoot is big in like the Pacific Northwest, like I mentioned. So pick a map, point your finger, and there is a Bigfoot there.
I don't know, man. If I was a
And-
Bigfoot, I would for sure live in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah. In Southwest Virginia, it's the wood booger.
Ooh,
A
wood
wood booger.
Yeah.
That's a funny name.
I'm like,
Like, why the wood booger?
it should, scientifically, like woodus boogerus.
What is boogerous?
That sounds like it's from Harry Potter.
I know, right? It just gives like somebody like just the worst runny nose ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how this sounds
some
like
of
a
the things make
Mucinex
sense, like
commercial.
the skunk ape being in like like the skunk ape being in South Florida or in Florida, that makes sense. Like if you were a hairy ape in the swamp, you would smell horrible.
Mhm.
So it makes sense.
Mhm.
I did learn this through research doing this. There are a population of wild gorillas in Florida.
What? Why
What?
does this not surprise me?
So,
That's true.
people have
Florida
pets
man.
and these like
Yeah,
highway
Florida man.
exhibits of like wildlife, and like these hurricanes happen and these storms happen and people die and their animals are left in cages. They get out and now they're just roaming Florida.
Uh,
Hmm.
uh,
Okay. So yeah, it could be
Yeah.
just a wild gorilla.
Yeah, could be. The problem with the comparison to a gorilla is the bipedal nature of the creature we're talking about.
True.
So the consistencies are that this thing is extremely elusive, it's bipedal, and it's intelligent,
Mhm.
which is kind of scary when you think about how big it is. Because I think about like Chewbacca and like
Oh yeah,
Han's always like he could rip your arms off. It's like, yeah,
but he's pretty
Bigfoot
smart.
could just pluck
Right.
your arms off like you were a GI Joe. So, what does this mean when cultures like spread across the world, across time, that have never met, have never had contact with each other, all have the same legend?
Means it's real.
Seems to be the theme with a lot of things.
It
Yeah,
does.
100%.
Exactly. So, it means that maybe it's more than a legend. Maybe it's something that we're not meant to forget, or maybe it's something that someone is trying to get us to forget.
Never forget Sam Squanch
Sam Squanch, Bigfoot 2025.
coming at you, big and smelly.
So, like I said, I want to focus on 20th century modern sightings with evidence because we can talk about hearsay all day. So,
Question:
go for it.
Is a Yeti the same thing as a Sasquatch or a
In the
Bigfoot?
terms of, yes, it's a cultural difference and regional. So, a Yeti is more cold climate, I
Mhm.
believe, like
Yes.
Yeah, like
would
okay,
be
That's your
like
snow.
Tibet.
Yeah.
but giant, hairy, bipedal.
Yeah,
Yep.
yep. And I'm not 100% sure of its like mythos. Like I don't know what it supposedly represents. Like some of these other ones are like watchers or
Oh
messengers.
yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeti, I don't know if it's
Hmm.
maybe to like some of the like Inuit cultures, they have like a meaning, but I'm not sure.
That's fair.
So like I said, we're gonna start in the 20th century, 1958. This is prime like Elvis time, space race.
Hmm.
Like things are starting to like speed up as far as like technology and urbanization and stuff like that. But this is Northern California. So we're in Humboldt County, Northern California. Like we were saying, super dense redwood trees, hundreds of feet tall, blocking out all the sun. Like think for our Star Wars fans, think Endor, the Ewok planet.
Yeah.
That was filmed in the Florida in Muir Woods in Florida in California.
There we go. Yep. Not Florida.
That's the place. We said Florida so much. I'm just like, Florida's on. I'm Florida man now. Oh no.
So the Florida gorillas were actually
No.
Ewoks in the movie.
They just escaped from Disney. It's disgruntled employees that can never take off their costumes.
Oh, that would be the worst to be an Ewok in
God.
Florida.
Yes.
Yeah, yo. Any of those costume characters would suck in Florida.
I don't know how they
Swimming
do
in
it.
Sweat all day.
I feel like Florida
Mm-mm.
is America's Australia, and everything wants to kill you there.
Mm,
Yeah.
It's the
No,
closest.
speaking of
Yeah.
Australia, shit that wants to kill you. I saw this guy in Australia. I don't know what body of water he was in, but he takes off his little, like, rimmed hat, sticks it in the water for like 2 seconds. This fish about this big just comes up and
Oh,
grabs
bites
it, and he
it.
just takes it out of the water.
I
And
saw
it's like,
that this
yeah,
week too, or last
yeah,
week. Yeah.
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 Oh, what the hell?
Like, I don't need to go there.
See, I have no business being in Australia.
No.
Like,
No.
I'm good on that.
And he was so calm about it too. He was just like, "Hey, mate."
Yeah, look, make sure you have a hat. Like,
Yeah. That was
make
his
sure I can
advice.
shotgun.
Yeah, no shit.
Buckshot. Alright, so yeah, North Cali, super dense woods. This is a group of construction workers clearing a road, and this is like deep, deep, deep into the woods. This is a couple days travel, hard to get to. These guys are camped out here while this job is being done. It's too arduous, it's too rugged to trek in and out every day. So they have like this makeshift camp. They have their trailers in a circle, and they kind of have it facing their equipment, and they're these giant, earth movers and tree cutter downers. I don't know what they're called.
Chainsaws? I'm just kidding.
No. Have you ever seen the things they use to grab a tree?
Oh,
and
the
then
giant
run
claw
up the
thing?
tree
Yeah.
and cut
And then
it.
it just runs.
Yeah.
So they got like this giant machinery. They have like some of these tires, these spare tires, are like several hundred pounds, like of just spare tires, like stacked up in the side. They're there for a couple days. They start noticing some weird stuff at first. Some littler things are like moved at their work sites. They're kind of like, okay, weird, whatever. Then some of that giant equipment starts getting moved. So those tires that weigh several hundred pounds just start getting moved across the camp. 50-gallon oil drums are just being moved in the middle of the night, and there's no sound. These guys aren't getting woken up by like trucks coming in and out, or like guys coordinated movement.
Wow.
So they start getting like unnerved, and they're weirded out, like, why is this going on and we don't know this is going on, and we're right here.
That
Yeah.
would be terrifying because like there's nothing around
Absolutely.
you except for the wilderness,
And this
essentially.
is, yep. And that's one of those like facts that kind of makes this story a little bit harder to debunk, because it is like a random group of dudes like coming to follow a construction crew for weeks on end and just like torture them in the middle of the night.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we're talking about Murder Mountain, but I mean, come on now.
Yeah, this is, I mean, it would have to have been like, yeah, an established population that like was camping out here at all times watching their mountain.
Mountain people, whatever.
So there was one worker named Jerry Crew.
It's a
just
solid
make
name. I feel like he's like a Jersey guy.
Yeah, real no bullshit.
For real.
Yeah.
I don't believe there's no fucking Sasquatch.
Yeah,
Sam
I ain't never
Squatch out
seen no Sam Squanch except for my wife's sister. She's real hairy and tiny.
Then I believe it.
Oh.
All right, so he's out one morning early. He's looking around. All the shit's moved around, and he notices a footprint. Now it's not like a booted footprint, and it's not like a animal footprint. It's a human-shaped footprint, but it's about 16 inches long. And he instantly is like, this is weird, obviously. So he makes a plaster cast of this thing. When they come down the mountain, he starts showing it around town. Boom. That's how Bigfoot got his name.
Okay.
Now, this story,
Whoa.
like I said, does have its holes. It's got some solid parts. Like, I don't think it was hoaxed by an outside party.
Right.
But the foreman of this work site, Mr. Wilbur Wallace, William Wallace, had a brother named Ray, and Ray apparently was a little bit of a trickster. So there is
Damn it, Ray.
some speculation that Ray made the footprint, at least.
God damn it, Ray.
Only thing about Ray is that he did say that, yes, he made the footprint. His family even backed up that after he died, that yes, he was the one who made this footprint.
Okay.
But they supplied the tool that he supposedly made this footprint with, this wooden foot, right? Problem is, the foot is not 16 inches long. So it's not the same size as the original print. He could never replicate the spacing correctly of the prints. So when they tried to recreate like how you would step, he was never able to exactly recreate multiple steps. And the toe shape of the actual footprint that he had didn't match the cast print. So leave it up to you as always.
That's very
Was he just
confusing.
trying to hop on for clout? Or
Yeah. So
Well,
it wasn't the foot at all.
Right.
no, but he claimed that he was the hoaxer. So
He just wanted attention.
exactly. And in this world where everyone's so quick to be like, it's probably not the Bigfoot, it's probably this other thing. Even if those things don't line up, they're like, yeah, well, he already said he did it, so of course he did it. That's easier to believe.
Well, yeah.
than-
But there was no explanation for
Or
like the
moving.
heavy equipment
Right.
moving and
Nope.
the tires and shit like that.
No explanation for that, and then no real follow-up on anyone being able to identify what the footprint was.
Okay.
Yep. So that one kind of fades into Bigfoot obscurity and lore as just kind of this, did it happen story? Is it real? Is it a hoax?
Because of
But we
fracking
do have
Ray.
this 16-inch footprint that has not been duplicated. Yeah. Raising.
Yeah.
Now we fast forward to like the holy grail of Bigfoot sightings, evidence, all of the above. So this is 1967. This is the Patterson and Gimlin video. Most people are familiar with this. If you've seen a video of a Bigfoot walking, it's probably this video. Now, Roger and Bob are two like cowboy type dudes. They're maybe a little Brokeback Mountain-ish.
Not
But
here
No.
to judge.
I'm not judging. Not at all. I find it their character when you watch them in videos is interesting. But they're out. Roger
they have a deep love
is
for themselves in the
That's
outdoors.
right.
Yep. Pitching tents.
Hey man, I get it. It's cold out there.
Roger is a former rodeo rider turned
Of course he
filmmaker,
is.
and he is somewhat of a Bigfoot enthusiast. He does follow the sightings, and he is interested in Bigfoot.
Okay.
Bob, on the other hand, described as soft-spoken, loyal, skeptical, and practical, and he went to accompany Roger because he wanted to be a good friend.
See, he's the homie. He's the ride or die. He's like, you know what? I don't believe in your crazy nonsense tinfoil shit, but I'm just gonna go out in the wilderness with you so you don't fucking die.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Everybody needs one of those.
Or just so you can't come back and tell me you saw some shit when I know you didn't see some shit.
Right.
He does admit that maybe he was a little curious. He was also just kind of going to see what would happen.
Yeah.
And this is not like a high-tech expedition. These guys are not out there with like infrared. This is, the late 60s. They're out there with a borrowed 30 millimeter camera, basic camping equipment, and their horses. The area that they ride into is only accessible on horseback.
Okay.
Hmm. So
So
yeah,
they're
that's like the
Yeah.
backcountry for sure.
so they're in Six Rivers National Forest in Northern California. It's by an area called Bluff Creek. What they were
Yeah,
doing
dogs.
is technically they were like kind of circling the areas that had sightings had been reported. So they're kind of just making like these concentric rings, just kind of re-going over the same area little by little, just to see maybe if they'll come across something.
Okay.
They're riding the ridgeline one day. It's October 20th. It's midday, perfectly clear skies. Like any person that likes nature, if they've seen this video, was like, first thought was like, oh, I would love to be outside right there by that
Yeah.
creek. It's like the ideal day. They're riding alongside this creek, and all of a sudden, Roger's horse starts to like spook. It starts to like rear up and like just reacting to something that's they're not seeing. But obviously, the horse is like, hey, there's something here.
Mhm.
Being former rodeo riders, like they're okay. They control their horse, but out of the corner of the eye, with their eye, they see something moving on the other side of the bank. And before they could really even like figure out what this is, they realize like it's a big creature that's like hunched over, bending down. And as they're seeing it, it's kind of like lifting itself up and seeing them. So Roger fumbles for his saddlebag and he pulls out the camera. And as he's doing this, I'm going to play the film in a little bit and we'll watch it. As I just want to kind of explain what's happening because it's very
Mhm.
shaky.
Yeah.
So he takes it out and he starts recording like as it's coming out of the saddlebag. And he running and he falls forward on his like elbows. And
Mhm.
he's just trying to have this creature in the viewfinder. Like I don't even think he's like really looking through
Yeah.
the camera at what he's watching. So I have the original video that's, like I said, extremely shaky, and I have some stabilized ones that we'll watch in a little bit. But I will play this one now. Initial thoughts on that video, guys? What, like, have you
I
seen it
mean, like
before?
it was super
Yeah.
shaky at the beginning. I was like, what the fuck is he even looking at? Because I've never seen like the beginning part of that video.
I
I've
don't.
always
Yeah. I
just
don't know
seen
that
the
I had
like the
either.
Bigfoot just walking.
Hmm.
So it was
But I
just like,
think.
oh, okay, so this is super shaky, and then all of a sudden he moved, and then you're like, okay.
I
Mhm.
feel like it gives more
But
credence
yeah, I
to
think
it,
I don't know, man.
the shakiness, because I think that's
Yeah.
how we'd all be. Like if all of a
Mhm.
Hmm.
sudden you're just like, holy shit, the thing we
You're
came
just
out here to find, but probably really didn't think we'd find, just popped his head up and is walking. And yeah, I mean, I know I would trip and fall and do all the things like trying to,
oh yeah,
and my eyes would be glued
Yeah, the
on,
closeness.
Bigfoot, as opposed to like getting the perfect shot. Plus, I'd be like
right.
scared
And you
that he
think
was
about
gonna
how
come
many
see
things
me. Like,
are going on.
Or just throw a rock
yeah,
at you or something,
yeah,
and you're
Yep.
just
just pick
done.
up one of those trees and just like launch it.
I came across plenty of videos. I didn't put them in this episode of Bigfoot throwing things, videos of
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, I've seen a
Bigfoot.
couple of those videos. It's crazy.
In some of these videos, it would be real hard to fake some of these videos, and we're going to talk about this one in
Yeah,
particular.
Yeah,
yeah.
how do you feel? Do you feel like because this one's been like through controversy for a
Mhm.
while now? There's been so many people like, oh no, this is definitely a suit, and then they've broken it down super well. And
Yeah.
Yep. So I'll talk about that in a little bit. And just for people that are listening to this and not watching, what they see, what we are describing is, like we said, the very shaky video of a man looking across a like creek in Northern California. He's seeing a suggested or average or estimated 7 foot tall creature with massive shoulders, with dark reddish brown fur that's like shimmering in the light like actual follicles of hair. When this creature gets up and turns around, you could notice that she's got this deliberate and slow like gait
Yeah,
to her walk. Like she's not clumsy. She knows what she's doing.
and covers a lot of ground
She's
fast.
got a deep.
His stride
Yeah.
is massive in this video,
Yep.
but then
So
he's just got these big
Yeah, it's just
lumbering
like
arms. I think it's real.
yeah, I have I lean towards it being real too. Yeah, but she's got like no visible neck. It's kind of like this massive head just kind of meets her shoulders, but she has dexterity to turn around and she looks over her shoulder as she's walking away. Again, that movement right there is the movement in this video that no one could replicate, explain, because when she turns around, like Josh said, her arm swings back in a natural locomotion
Mhm.
that you would have to do to get your shoulder and your head to turn at the same time, in her lower back and her side and her like butt area and her thigh, you if you look closely and we'll watch the stabilized ones in a little bit, you could see muscle moving under the fur,
Yeah.
which if you were in a rubber suit or a ill-fitting costume, you would not see anything like that.
Right.
No.
The way everything kind of is patched just like a person, like any fighter knows that like if you're throwing a punch, it's coming from your foot, it's coming from your back foot, all the way up through your shoulder and your arm. Like our bodies, where your head goes, your body goes. This creature has a natural movement to it. When you're
It's
watching
all
this
very
video,
fluid.
It is. It
exactly.
really is.
When you're watching this video, eerie. I'm gonna let Bob tell us a little bit about what happened that morning that Roger came across, who they affectionately named Patty.
Aw.
Roger was just riding. Roger was riding in front of me. I was leading the little pack horse. We were basically going out to camp about 40 miles further out than we'd been riding. We'd been riding, making big circles every day. And so we were going to go on out, so we had a pack horse with us, a small pack horse. And when we were just riding up the creek bed, and Roger was taking pictures of the beautiful colors, of the fall colors of the trees and the brush and all that. And all at once, when we come around a bend in the creek, there one stood across the creek from us. And of course, Roger's horse just went berserk. Well, mine did too, but I was able to stay on him because, you know, I was a pretty good rider back in, I was only 36 years old. So I was a pretty good rider, and I stayed on my horse, and Roger finally, he didn't get actually dumped off his horse, but he got a little help getting off, and he grabbed the saddle bag cover, one flap that he had it on there, and unflapped it and got the camera out and started running across the creek, taking the picture. And he stumbled. It had a kind of a bank on the far side, and so Roger had had the camera up to his eye, of course, and he kind of stumbled and fell down on his elbows, and he wasn't really sure if he got sand or whatever in the camera, because this is all happening really, really fast and excited.
Had you guys gone up there looking for Bigfoot?
Yes, trying to find more evidence. We were called down there with 3 different footprints, 3 different size of footprints around a piece of equipment. And by the time we got, this was Labor Day weekend.
I thought that gave a little bit of a good explanation, especially to the
Yeah.
shakiness of that original video. Like,
Mhm.
you got a lot of shit to worry about. You see in this creature, you got horses that are you don't want to spook and run
Yeah.
away. Like, you don't want to break an ankle in the middle of the woods. Like, so it's just
Just a
interesting.
lot
Mhm.
going on.
Yeah, to hear him have an account of what happened.
Also, I'm pretty sure he's wearing a Bigfoot
Oh
bolo
yeah.
tie, and
I
I
was here for
fucking
it.
want one
I
so
was
bad.
yeah. I noticed that straight away. I was like,
He 100%.
yes.
Where do I get a Bigfoot bolo tie?
These are the things that made me comment, like the Brokeback Mountain thing, like the little pieces of flair. The shirt's kind of like a little bit nicer because he's
Dude,
like
he
on
had it going
TV.
on.
Like, the normal cowboy just comes on, I feel like, in the denim,
Yeah.
But he
maybe
had a
a
nice
regular
print shirt. It
bolo
was
with
Yeah.
like like a little
Very
turquoise
well
like
put
little
together.
thing, the Stenson. Like, he's out there like, no, I'm in my TV
Yeah.
shirt.
This is my interviewing shirt right here. Mhm.
So like we said, I have a stabilized version. So actually have two stabilized versions. One I think is a little bit better than the other, but I just think any chance you have to look at this
Yeah.
video enhanced is a good opportunity. So
Enhance.
we'll watch this one now. Enhance. The weight, the steps, it's how I walk around, my big ass. Like, it's a lot moving that shit around. It just looks it's so natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What gets me every time I watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does not look like a dude in a suit.
No, like, because also you think about embarrassingly, I worked at one of those like kids fun places like arcades and shit. And when I was younger, I was the tallest kid, and Rugrats was a thing. So I would have to dress up, and I would have to be Angelica because she was the tallest.
Oh, I hope there's
First of all,
pictures
they're
of
hot as
that.
fuck.
Please let there be pictures.
There probably are somewhere, but the great thing is they're not digital. So,
Oh, I'm dying on the inside.
Uh-huh.
but I know from firsthand experience, if you're wearing a costume like that and you turn your head, you're just looking at the inside of a mask or a head.
Yeah, you're
Like,
not really turning that big ass head.
Yeah.
so that is one of those things about Patty that it's hard to just shake again. And the fluidity and like the locomotion that she has is
Mhm.
eerily precise to what exactly you would think like a giant humanoid creature would walk
Right.
like.
Yeah.
I'll play the second one. I don't think this one is clear, but I think, like I said, it's good to see. Yeah, so it's much smaller.
Yeah.
It's harder to see. They just kind of stabilize just her. One does like a
Yeah.
much better like cell by cell thing. That video, like I said at the beginning, is the holy grail. If someone can legitimately debunk that video, I can't give you anything, but I'm sure someone will.
Right.
I'm sure somebody's offered before.
Oh, I have no doubt. Yeah, for sure.
But, like, my thing is, like, if it was a person and they were trying to, like, purposely, like, make their stride longer, you would see them, like, overstretching and it wouldn't look as natural. But, like, that walk just looks
Yeah.
natural as
That walk
shit.
is so
It does.
unbothered. It's
And
just yeah.
Yeah. Just like, "Oh, yeah, I'm hot to trot. I'm
It's like
Bigfoot. This is my
it does like
forest."
that one like glance back, like, are you stupid enough to be like following me right now? You staying where you are and just
Right?
like keeps going.
Probably listen to your horses.
Mhm.
yeah, she seems like alert but unbothered.
Well,
Right.
yeah, because she could probably just rip them to fucking shreds.
And it's that thing about Bigfoot though that would like give it more and more of that credibility, like it's confidence in that environment to know
Mhm.
like Like a deer would run, would take off.
Oh,
Oh,
100%.
Regardless
yeah.
of the fact that like you as a human probably can't traverse that creek and those rocks quick enough to even get close in a million years, right?
Mhm.
No,
But
yeah.
it sees you and it's gone. That thing knew, like, oh, look at this fumbling idiot.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way. I just got to get out of here. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna leave.
You know
Like,
what? This was a good afternoon,
You
but I'm
ruined
gonna go
it.
fuck myself
Yeah.
now.
A little
man,
too crowded.
drinking hole's really getting
Mhm.
crowded.
Uh-huh. All this other wilderness, and you chose my spot.
Always, always. Motherfuckers love messing with an introvert.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, did they go get
So
footprints?
Yeah, I can't remember. Did they ever
they
go
I know, I
and
don't
look?
can't either.
collect. They don't find any footprints there. The ground is like very
That's what
rocky
okay.
and it's like shoreline, so
Convenient.
it just shifts. Yeah, convenient. But here, another thing we've talked about this with paranormal stuff. We talk about this with alien stuff. So they went out and told people about this video.
Mhm.
They got nothing but hatred and heat and skepticism. Like they didn't come out of this thing like, we got this video, we're gonna sell it to a studio, we're gonna sell it to a university. Like, nope. Like they went out, they went on the road, they got berated by with questions, and scientists and professionals would all like look at it and go, "Hmm, yeah, but like I can't say that that's Bigfoot," and then walk away, and then that was it.
Yeah, they didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, they did not do so well.
No, and not having funding, not having money, there's only so many people that could get this video in front of. Unfortunately, in this community, that tends to be the people like us that are just willing to go listen to someone talk about Bigfoot for free because I
Right.
don't have money to pay him.
Yeah,
So,
no,
yeah,
I'm sorry, dude. But
we lecture on
Yeah.
he seems
Bigfoot
to be doing pretty
at the
well.
library.
He's got Bigfoot bolos. He's good.
He did okay. He did okay. But so Roger does pass away from cancer eventually.
Damn, R.I.P. Roger.
Yep. As soon as he dies, though, again, of course, skeptics rush in. Now there's less people to refute it. They go after Bob. Bob, for a long time, kind of just stays out of the public eye, says, like, hey, I know what I saw. We know what we filmed. For like 30 years, he kind of doesn't say anything. Then he starts having a few interviews, doing more like the one we just watched, until his wife and family start being harassed, like in town. Like he can't go anywhere without people like yelling, "Hey, did you see Bigfoot?" People are showing up at his house with shotguns and flashlights and yelling that he's a crazy man. People start showing up
It's
to
like, what?
his wife's job.
Yeah, you're the crazy man that I
Uh,
just showed up to your house unannounced with a shotgun
yeah.
and a flashlight
It's
to tell you that you're crazy.
I don't
yep.
understand people
Yeah. So his
on Earth.
You know, people are
either.
wild.
So the final straw was his wife was just being harassed at her job. She worked a retail job, and like people from the town would just come in and be like, "Hey, did your husband find any monsters today?" Haha, and like leave and shit. Like
What the fuck?
I can't.
so that was it. He was done. He sold his rights to this video, this holy grail of a Bigfoot video, for $10.
I thought you were gonna at least
Mhm.
say $1,000. $10,000.
Yeah.
10 buckaroos, big ones,
Ooh.
bones, Washington. Like
Damn.
he didn't get shit. Like like I
Wow.
said, it's this like curse of the paranormal investigator slash ufologist slash cryptozoologist. Like, as soon as you find evidence, there's so many more people willing to come pick it apart and say it's fake than like try to validate it or confirm it as real.
Right.
But yeah, like unfortunately, people like our friend Ray don't help. People take advantage when these people die. When Bob sold this video and the rights left him, claims started emerging that there was a man named Bob Herminus,
Oh, okay.
that claims that he wore a gorilla suit and had them film him walking near the
Mm.
creek. Allegedly, there is a designer, a costume maker that also says, like, I made the costume.
I don't
Said
believe it. I'm
said
not buying it.
costume never appeared. No one could produce the costume.
Yeah.
Again, he just said I did this. I don't think it was very real. But unfortunately, damage is done. The video's in like the universe's hands now, and people just do what they want with it.
Oh yeah, it's like literally the most famous Bigfoot video.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's in our new opening too. And
Oh, is it?
so yeah, because it is the most. It is one of the
Yeah.
most iconic cryptozoology videos in
Mhm.
history.
I wonder what a Bigfoot sounds like.
Oh, you do?
I
Good
do.
question. Because if we were just talking about the Patterson and Gimlin video, I don't think I would be doing a podcast on this because
That's
we
fair.
have vocal evidence. If you were listening, I'm doing air quotes a lot, and no one can see
He,
them. So it's
he
Mhm.
really just loves talking with his hands
know,
and
it's hard.
gesticulating.
I do. I do.
It really is, though. I do it all
Yeah,
the time
same.
as well.
So, Josh, like I said, great question. Do we know what a Bigfoot sounds like?
I just feel like it would just be like, I don't even know.
I can't.
I can tell you that it's chilling.
Like, I want to say it's like a giant gorilla sounding, or it's like very deep, but I also want to say it's like a high pitched noise.
Yeah. Go.
Interesting.
Yeah. Either way for me.
All right, let's find out. Because in the early 1970s in the Sierra Mountains in California, two men captured what might be the closest thing we have to Bigfoot's speaking. So this story starts near Lake Tahoe. Again, super rural, horseback accessible only. Hunters in this area have been hearing weird noises for a while, and like these noises aren't just like clanks or bangs or like random like howls. They're like almost like dialogue, like when you hear wolves in one area and then another one responds. This is the same thing that's happening, but with these guttural like hoots and these whoops.
Okay.
Disturbed, intrigued, whatever they call it, they decided like, hey, we should probably have someone that knows something about this come up here, or at least someone that can try to get some evidence of it. So they contact this journalist named Al Berry. He goes alongside one of these hunters whose name is Ron Moorhead. I was waiting for the joke. I was giving
Oh, I think I
So-
burnt all my jokes in the Brokeback Mountain and rodeo.
Fair enough. This guy's an avid outdoorsman. He is one of the hunters that has been hearing these sounds, and they go out into this area of the mountains for years to conduct experiments and investigations. So from 1971 to 1974, the team makes several trips. They capture hours of this audio, and it's this, like I said, these whoops and these howls, these like giant thudding impacts. They echo back and forth. Some of this like has been called the samurai chatter because of the way there's like these rapid fire series of like guttural high pitched back and forth vocalizations. And they resemble like primitive structured language.
Okay.
Okay.
You're killing me. I want to hear it.
So
Yeah,
No.
no shit. Like, stop teasing me.
I know. I really want to hear it.
So it's long. I'm going to jump around because otherwise we'll be sitting here listening to the rest of the podcast. You can find it yourself if you want to listen to it. It's eerie. Do it at night with headphones on in the dark.
Oh, okay.
Makes sense.
Here it is.
He's trying to talk to us. What are you laughing at? That's our job. It's a hard act to follow. It sounds like he talks to us and they talk to each other. Yeah. Right there, I just seen movement right through there.
That end there is that like that samurai chatter, like
Okay.
it
That's the
kind of sounds like a
creepiest
samurai
part.
yelling into the wood.
Yeah.
And I jumped around, so I highly suggest if you go search it on YouTube, there's plenty of videos. There's videos with subtitles that will explain like what the guys are saying, like under their breath. And what essentially is happening is that they're hearing noises and they're trying to emulate what they're hearing the best they can, and something's responding.
Mhm.
That
And at certain points, it's a little bit hard to hear.
yeah.
Go ahead, John.
No, that's what I was wondering. I was like, sometimes, yeah, they did so well that I was like, wait, is that them doing it, trying to get them
Mhm.
to do it again? Or
Mhm.
Yeah. Like I said, so there are videos where there's like translation so you can tell like who's and what is talking. But there are points when they do that like emulation and try to get a response. And like I said, highly encourage listening to the whole thing. There are responses in there that sound angry.
yeah, oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
And it sounds like almost like, why are you interrupting my conversation? Like I am
Right.
trying to hear what he's saying, and you stupid asses keep saying something while I'm trying to hear what he's saying. So stop.
And then at the
Or don't
beginning,
talk
it
about it.
sounded like gunshots, but like
Yeah.
I've
Like it's
heard that
just
like they're just hitting
mhm.
trees with
Mhm.
trees, or like
Which
they'll bang on like tree trunks with other
Yeah.
trees.
because you think about what's Morse code,
Yeah.
series of sounds that we've established that like these sounds and beeps and dashes all mean something. So
Mhm.
like if you were
They
hundreds
call
of
it
miles away or like miles away in the mountains across, like you could essentially hear that. Like
tree knocking,
I'm not gonna click
essentially.
on the microphone,
Right.
but yeah, you like that the like the report like that, like like a gunshot echoes. It has like a flat
Mhm.
report.
Mhm.
Like you hear that when those trees are smacking. So we listen to them. We are not experts. They had experts listen to these recordings. So there was a man named Scott Nelson who was a retired US Navy cryptology linguist. So he's trained in like all kinds of speech patterns, all kinds of like language and shit like that. He
Okay.
examined these recordings and he says there's signs of non-human language.
Mm.
He says he can agree that there's consistent vocalizations that are structured like speech and they have a cadence, but obviously doesn't know what they're saying. That's not a
Right.
Right.
known language.
Hmm.
There was another doctor, Dr. R. Lynn Carolyn. That person was a doctorate in audio engineering and electrical engineering. They analyzed the recordings in a laboratory and like tested like the decimal range of the voices,
Mhm.
and they basically concluded that the frequency range was well beyond a human's capability. So essentially saying like that ability to go from that low guttural, like almost like tiger deep chested growl to like a high pitched chimpanzee
Yeah.
like whoop is not possible for us. Like we don't, there's probably
We
only,
cannot make those noises.
yeah, there's
Right.
probably like one or two opera singers in the world that couldn't even
Right.
come close to like the range of something like
Wow.
that.
And I don't think they're hanging out in
I don't either.
Northern California in the middle of the redwoods.
I don't see it.
No, absolutely not.
I
And this,
hear the acoustics are great.
right? Probably. I mean, hey, just you in the redwoods strumming your fucking guitar.
Hey,
The campfire.
The opera guitar.
So this doctor had said, the engineer said, in order to produce that sound and that range of sound, you would need lungs the size of a gorilla's lungs
Imagine.
and the vocal cords like a didgeridoo. So like the Aboriginal like tube instrument that like is
Yeah, that thing.
And if you've ever seen a gorilla do a silverback do a chest thump, like what they do before they do that is they inflate their lungs and
Oh
like
yeah,
Yeah,
make their
so they
chest
can.
bigger.
Yeah.
but the capacity, like I obviously I'm the animal guy. I love watching it. So if you watch the like inches that expand in a gorilla's chest, the ability that it has like take in air, it's insane. Like they double their size and they're like, and I shit my pants and die. Speaking of gorillas, let's get topical and pop culture-y.
What's up with this fucking 100 gorilla? Like one person,
Yeah.
like 100 people versus one gorilla. I'm just seeing this on my like. It's
That's what I was gonna bring up.
social
So
media
What?
shit.
and in my man
Dang
math,
it.
Yeah, where did this come from?
it's one of those things like would a woman rather be in the woods with a bear or a man? So it's one of those like there are these men out there, these alpha males that insist that they can barehandedly fight a gorilla.
You're a fucking retard.
Yes.
I wish they would.
Sorry.
So-
Sorry. I mean, that was not PG or not.
Me too.
But you were dumb.
That's my
Yes,
response. Is I just
yes,
wish
yes,
they
yes.
would.
Dumb.
Solve problems for a
Yes,
lot
I
of
do
us.
too. And somehow this has evolved into like the children in the playground, how many
Oh, okay.
can you take kind of thing. So it evolved into like a steady number of 100 men. Could 100 men take one gorilla?
I don't know, man. I don't think so.
I have a lot of issues with this because like there's these alpha men out there that are like, yeah, I can do it. Not realizing like the minute that a gorilla grabs your finger and rips it off, you're out. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to die to be out of this fight.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
the moment that the fucking 5-inch fang goes through your forearms through and through, you're out.
Or just takes your whole
Like,
face off.
It
The
rips your face
I
off.
know. I mean, the
Yeah,
little ones
so-
do that.
and then you
No,
run
the
in,
big ones. Come on.
and then you run into the square footage issue.
Yeah.
So how many men do you think you're fitting on top of this one gorilla at once? Because eventually just men are punching the backs of men. So
isn't that
as
usually
this
how it
guy's
goes?
taking on the 5, as this gorilla's taking on the 5 in front of it, they're like the Foot Clan. They're just standing there waiting for their turn to get their fucking arms ripped off and beat with them. So can we stop? Can we just stop this conversation? No person or group of persons is taking on a full-grown silverback gorilla. I'm sorry.
You don't think the mountain could take him?
No.
Not even a chance. Not even that's the craziest part. And I think it's with size, it's with strength.
That's
Humans have an issue with understanding like pound for pound strength and
It's
like
'cause we think
raw
we're king
natural
shit.
strength. It's like these people that like walk up to a buffalo and they're like, oh, but I've seen a
Oh,
I love
cow,
watching those videos.
not realizing that the cow is just not using its size and momentum.
Right.
Like a cow would walk through you like you were a piece of paper. Like it wouldn't even stumble.
No.
Like these animals are massive. Like a gorilla is so powerful and quick. Like gorillas are fast as fuck, man. I'm sorry, I'm on a tangent.
You're very passionate about
Actually, I was
Very
talking about this with
passionate right
Christy
now.
earlier, and I got into like the whole thinking about it and like all the breakdowns.
This all
Yeah.
started with Harambe.
Man, they shouldn't have fucked with Harambe,
Hmm.
man.
See,
I like gorillas.
that's when
Gorillas
we
are
jump
good.
to a different timeline because Harambe, they killed him.
That would be great. Imagine that. You could just like, oh, I don't like this timeline. Boop. Harambe's alive. Things are good. Like the whole world. Well, like we're in this fucking like super utopia where like everything is like free and all this, and it's like just pictures of Harambe everywhere. And it's like, thank you to our Lord and Savior Harambe for making us realize that socialism was the way to go.
But
Thank the
no, we're here
socialist
in the
gorilla.
Yeah.
timeline where we killed
Yeah,
Harambe.
correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. And not just everything is
Yeah.
downhill. Yeah. All right. So I got one more story, kind of story. It's kind of just a breadcrumb trail to like where this whole Bigfoot conspiracy goes. So
Does it
we're
go
gonna
all the
take
way to
this.
the top?
It does, man. Josh, you are on it. Goes all the way to the top.
Ooh,
To
I'm
3-letter
fired.
organizations. So, like I said earlier, we could talk about cryptids. We could talk about all variety of cryptids. Very few of those cryptids involve the FBI.
It's so
Good
weird
for
that the
them.
National Park Service and the FBI are like closely related.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bigfoot seems to have the FBI's attention and the attention of our
Hmm.
lovely government spooks.
Is
So
he on the
this
most wanted list?
probably because he's brown.
It makes sense.
Always coming after us brown people, man.
God, I'm sorry, man.
It's all right. I'm not trying to invoke your white guilt. I'm just making a point. This guy is out in Oregon. So now we're in Oregon. We're out of California. His name is Peter Bryan. He is a respected researcher of like big game. So he has been in India studying big game. He's been in Nepal. So like he's very familiar with like patterns of big game and tracking them and like habits and stuff. So he has got the tip that like after this is over, I'm gonna like kind of become a cryptozoologist and look for evidence of Bigfoot.
Hmm.
So this is what he's doing. He's looking for movement on a forest line one day, and he doesn't see any movement, so he moves in closer and he finds this like grove of trees, and he's walking through this grove of trees, and on this grove of trees about like 6 or 7 feet up, he notices like this single just tuft of hair, like this just caught on the branch, and he's looking at it and he takes it and he's not sure and he's thinking about it and he's thinking about the area that he's in, and he's like, well, these trees are really tight. I don't think like a deer or a bear or like any kind of like large game would kind of be able to move through this grove of trees without disturbing the foliage and breaking branches and everything.
Right.
And as he's walking through, he's kind of sidestepping and squeezing through these trees. And it kind of dawns on him like the height of this fur and the way I'm walking through the trees, what if whatever lost this fur was maneuvering through these trees like me?
Mm-hmm.
That was enough for him to take this hair sample, send it to the FBI, try to get some answers on what it is, right? And it should be easy enough. If it's a bear, you tell me it's a bear. If it's a moose, you tell me it's a moose. We all go about our way, except
Right.
he gets no answer. Zero. Like he reaches
Nothing.
out for years and is like, hey, I sent you this thing. Maybe you know what it is. Nothing. Silence for years until 2019, when another completely independent researcher is going through FOIA requested, declassified FBI documents and comes upon this multiple page report on Bigfoot. If you're watching this, I'll flash some of the pages of the report so you can try to read them when we're talking about this. But in the report, they tell him that they did do the test and they did find out what it was, but they tell him, or they documented it, that it was deer fur. Now, it's so long after, there's not really much we can like follow up on it. It's not like he went back to the area and like found more hair or anything. He kind of just has to take this and say, well, like I never really stopped searching for Bigfoot. My question to the FBI is that if it was nothing and it was deer hair, why did it take 20, 30 years for you
In
just
a
to say
FOIA
Yeah.
request. Yeah.
exactly. Like, why didn't that just get mailed back to me in a simple, here you go, here's a sticker from the FBI. Thanks for your curiosity.
hmm
Again, that whole like let's just not say anything, government FBI bullshit. They're hiding something for some reason, right? Like they don't not say nothing for no reason.
Right. Yeah, I
And
don't know.
like we know about gorillas and we know about primates. So like what could the hair have been that was so taboo? I don't
Somebody's
know.
out there
Hey,
fucking
Just
monkeys, and now we have
rubbing their
Bigfoot.
head against the tree, just losing weird hair.
Yep. Yep.
So in a bigger theory that we don't necessarily need to get fully immersed in right now, I just posed the question. We obviously evolved on this planet with, let's say, cousins. You know, we all know about Neanderthals. We all know about like Homo habilis. We all know that we were here at some point with another species that was closely related to us. Is it possible that while we decided to move away from nature, a branch of our cousins decided to move into nature? So, like I said in the
I don't
beginning,
see
like,
why
do you
not.
think it's possible that, like, yes, we evolved, like, our brains and our physical body kind of took a back seat? And what if these things, like, kind of did the opposite and their physical bodies took the evolutionary like high road and was like, hey, we need to adapt to cold, wet temperatures. We need to be hidden and see in the night. Like, I don't think it's impossible.
Yeah. I don't see why it wouldn't be.
I
We don't know
don't
all the
know.
answers to science
And
and biology and shit like that.
no, but so to do a little bit of the science, when you look at the video, like the Patterson video, you notice the humanoid nature of Patty and like things stand
Yeah.
out and she kind of hits a weird like recognition point for us because when you look at a gorilla, you look at a chimpanzee, their structure is different. So their face is elongated, their necks are positioned different because their head comes out from
hmm
over their shoulders, doesn't rest on top of it. Her face is flattened out, her chin is down and it's on top of her shoulders, which is
Hmm.
an it's just one of those like further like steps to be like, well, if you're going to be this giant creature that walks, like you're not going to walk with that gorilla like having to like roll my hips all the way over. Your hips opened up and they spread
right.
out already like ours did. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's that video in particular, like I said, is the holy grail. But if you know anything, the simplest bit about locomotion, if you're a sports player or a physical therapist or anything, you look at that video and you have a hard time saying that that's not a living creature.
You're full of it.
I would have to agree.
Exactly. Period.
So I posed, yep, I posed a question to you, strangers. Is Bigfoot here? One, what is Bigfoot? Are they a branch of our line of DNA or are they something completely different? We didn't even get into the idea of like a hybrid species mixed with some extraterrestrial or interdimensional creature or something like
Yeah,
that.
because he just vanishes.
He does just vanish,
Right.
but
Underground caves.
there are underground caves, but there are also animals that are able to do that on this planet. So,
Oh
like,
yeah.
the ability for camouflage is not non-native to Earth.
Yeah.
That was too many
Octopi.
negatives in
Yeah.
one
No.
sentence. But
Oh yeah. They're really good.
yeah, well, you have octopi, but you even have like simpler camouflages, like insect camouflage. That
Hmm.
is just has just evolved to look like where it lives.
Yeah.
And
hmm
we're not evolved to like,
Pick that up.
yeah, detect like that change in like,
Hmm.
you know, we're looking for motion, We look for color. Like I watched some of these Bigfoot videos, and I'll probably post some of them online. But the way these creatures drop down in almost like a natural rock type position is
Yeah.
very interesting. Because
Oh,
if we jump down and like try to hide, our instinct personally is like knees on the floor, back over, hands overhead. Like I'm protecting my vital organs, I'm protecting my head. I'm trying not to get hurt.
Yeah, I'm not trying to
Way these
hide.
creatures, the way these creatures duck down is like this
right.
natural, like one-legged out, like crouch. And it's almost like let me just like blend in real quick and not be like an unnatural figure in this environment.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's eerie. I happen to believe that there's absolutely some kind of Bigfoot creature out there that
Oh
we don't
yeah.
know.
Oh, 100%. I do.
To even further nail that home, like we literally find out about species all the time. Like
Yeah.
insects,
Exactly.
fish. Like we just found in 2016 a new giraffe.
Wait, we found a new giraffe?
In
I
2016,
didn't know
we
that.
identified a new
What?
species of giraffe. So that giant
I didn't.
creature that has just been walking around the plains of Africa, no trees to hide behind. We just found a new one. So you
So
can tell
what?
me like
It just had different kind of spots or patterns or
well, what happens is these things they evolve differently. So there's sometimes little tiny things that are different. Sometimes it's just like the way their teeth grow in, or the angle of their ears or their eyes. Like they're just in a different environment. Maybe they're a little bit shorter, they're stockier. Like you see
I want a
elephants
tiny
are a great
giraffe.
example because you have like the Asian elephant and then you have the African elephant. So you have the
True,
Asian
true.
elephant that is walking through bamboo and trees and in a much more damp environment. They even have like a little bit of hair. Then you have the African elephant that's like
Big.
gigantic and it's got like his ears are bigger for fanning them off. So it's just these little things that just by your environment can change your whole outcome.
Truth.
And the other thing is that we know about 20 species of apes.
Yeah. That's
So
wild.
like that is one of those things. It's like 20 is a big
Mhm.
number. And once you start getting up to like that 20 number, I start to believe like we don't know them all.
Yeah,
Like
no.
bats. Like there's hundreds and hundreds of bats. Every day you're gonna find a new bat. Frogs.
Mhm.
There's billions of frogs. Like we find a new frog species every day. So
What if like
I
Bigfoot's just like a missing link of ours and we're just like literally living next to like one of our previous evolutions?
yeah. And just like all the other creatures on the planet, it learned to stay away from us.
Yeah.
Very
'Cause
smart.
we
Smart.
suck.
We're not the
Yeah.
cousins you want.
Just
We are Florida,
kudos to
man.
you.
Well, you wonder like how
We are Florida. damn it.
unfortunately it really does suck. We are. It really is. Like
Dude, we have been
again,
hating on Florida this whole episode.
We
do you
love
think do they
Floridian
deserve
listeners.
anything else? Like yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm not even gonna nah.
We
If you
do.
I can't even parse
You've
the crowd.
already dug yourself
Can't
I
into
parse
this
the crowd.
hole.
But
Josh and I
I'm telling you,
love
Florida's
Floridian
full
listeners.
of Florida people. Here I have family in Florida. That's why I don't like Florida. I don't like
I have
going to Florida.
family in Florida too. Shout outs to
Yeah.
Jacksonville. That place
I got personal beef
sucks.
with Florida.
Wow. Jen loves
Arg,
Come at
Floridian
me,
arg.
poke
listeners.
with the toe. So on our tour, are we skipping Florida?
Nah, we have to go. Because we gotta go see Robert the
Oh.
Doll.
I'll do that one from the hotel.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to get mugged in the parking lot. All right, like I said, man, I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear what you think about Bigfoot. There's a lot of possibilities for what this creature could be. I want to know what you think about the Patterson video, what you think about the Sierra sounds. So give us some feedback, comment below, let us know what you think. Bigfoot's real, man.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, he is. And you know what else? He would definitely like and subscribe to our channels.
Shit, yeah, he would. I think he already is. Matter of fact, I might actually know for a fact that he was given that advice firsthand.
Oh, that's true. We did interview one of his
did.
cousins.
Yes, I did. Yep. I've been in contact with Bob.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
guy.
Maybe Bob would make another
Okay.
appearance sometime.
He should. He's always welcome. All right, strangers. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us as always. Much appreciated. Until the next time. Bye.
Keep it strange.
Thank you for listening. If you would like to join us as a guest, suggest a topic, or have a story you want us to share, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at SSOSpodcast@gmail.com. For more behind-the-scenes updates and exclusive insights about SSOS, make sure to follow us on social media. And don't miss out on the fun. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, thank you for listening to the Secret Society of Strangers podcast. This show is an independent production, researched and crafted by our passionate team. But we couldn't do it without all of you. We truly appreciate your support. Embrace the unknown, for not all secrets are meant to be kept. Farewell, strangers.